Hello and welcome to Creative Pet Keeping. My name is Kasia, I am your host, and in today's video I'm going to introduce you to all of my pets. I know a lot of you have been new subscribers lately. For the past 2 years my channel has really started to pick up and grow a lot quicker. So some of you guys have been from the beginning, 8 years ago when I started this channel. Some of you are new. I thought this would be a great opportunity to introduce everyone to the current pets that I have. At the moment, I have 2 cats, 1 dog, and 12 fish tanks, although not all of them are permanent setups. I have a couple tanks that are breeding tanks that have fry that are growing out, so I don't necessarily have that many permanent pet tanks. A lot of them are being temporarily used and taken down, and then I have a couple tanks in holding that I'll take out when I need. Also, I would like to let everyone know, for those of you that haven't watched my update on Mochi the bunny, unfortunately she did pass away recently. We've been battling this disease that she had and the infection for such a long time. It took such a toll on her body, all of the medications, all the vet visits, while she was actually in the end getting better. In the end, she lost too much weight. It just took a toll on her, and unfortunately we lost her early, and it's very unfortunate. A lot of you guys have been asking me if I'm going to get another bunny, and at the moment I really don't want to rush into getting another pet, especially because I want to have some time to actually kind of, get over losing her. But at the same time, having 2 cats and 1 dog already is a lot of work. Luckily, the fish don't necessarily need a ton of attention daily. They just need me to feed them and some water changes and some weekly upkeep. But because I work a lot, even though I work from home, I have to be very careful and put a lot of thought into acquiring more pets. Eventually I would like to maybe get another pet, but it'll take some time, and I hope you guys won't mind the wait. I think it'll definitely be worth it. And I'm going to add a little quick disclaimer just before we start. You're going to see some jarred Bettas. For those of you that might be new, I do breed Bettas on a very small scale, and when you breed Bettas, when you grow them out in a fish tank, eventually they will start to get aggressive and will fight. During that time, you temporarily jar them. In those jars, you do water changes either every other day or every single day. You heat the jars or you heat your entire room, and this is only a temporary situation before you sell your fish. So now let's get started. So let's get started with my 2 kitties. I have 1 female Littlefoot and the male Mookie. Now Mookie is my troublemaker. I adopted him from Paws Chicago when he was about 1 year old, and he is a crazy, super energetic cat that does a lot of weird things. His favorite hobbies include humping soft blankets. He also has a neurological problem which causes him to have a lot of nerve and sensitivity and stress issues. He has to be on a special diet. He is the only cat that I have that loves to walk on a leash though, so that is a bonus. But he has had to go to the vet a lot of times for a lot of issues, and he's overall a very kind of stressy cat, so I have to be very careful with how I take care of him. Overall, he makes me laugh every day. He's a cute little dude, and he is my cuddle bug and a lap cat. Littlefoot, on the other hand, is the queen of the house. Her mother was a barn cat, so she was actually born on a farm where I used to take horseback riding lessons, and she was a very sickly little kitten, so we adopted her for free pretty much and took her to the vet, treated her, got her better, and she's grown up to be a very demanding, food-loving, snuggly, buggly kitty cat who loves to talk a lot, and she just demands all the pets. She's my soulmate. Then there's Banana, the border collie mix that we also adopted from Paws Chicago, where she was a couple months old. She is a super spoiled little princess, and before anyone asks, yes, we do dye her tail. We do it for fun. She doesn't really seem to care or mind it at all. Overall, she's a very silly girl, but can get very serious and focus when she needs to. She's definitely very work oriented. She loves to please. She's kind of an overachiever especially if you have her favorite toys or her favorite ball. She will do all of the things you want her to. As soon as we adopted her, we started working on her training. For us, obedience, off-leash training, impulse control around distractions is very, very important. We like to participate in dog sports with Banana. One of our favorite is bike joring, also known as urban mushing, which is where you attach your dog to a harness at the front of the bike and the dog will help you pull while you're also pedaling. Banana has done this alone as well as with her doggy friends. Here is Nora the Husky, her friend. On many occasions, it is one of her favorite dog sports and is also a really awesome way to exercise and condition your dog. Currently, I am working on teaching her how to dock dive, which is another type of a dog sport. It is really great in the summer when it gets too hot to do other activities. It's always fun to cool off in the water. And another random fun fact, Banana really loves camping chairs. I have no clue why. Touch it. Touch it. Yes. Welcome to my fish room. I've got 2 large racks over here. Smaller one right there, and then even in the closet we've got 2 more tanks as well as my jar set up for the young Bettas as well as some of the baby Bettas that I'm growing out. So let's take a look at my pet Bettas. These are these 2 girls right here. They're in this temporary setup at the moment. This little yellow girl as well as this white and black female. These 3 girls I am gonna sell. They're just gonna go through another treatment for spironucleus. And these little babies right here, I am trying to grow out. I hopefully will be able to sell the darker ones for the aqua shella that is in August. So I'm kind of hoping for that. I'm gonna try to power grow these little guys. Then down here is the male divided tank. I turned off my pump so that so the sponge filters are not on. This makes it a little quieter in this room. Some of the males are coming out. Here is Grumpy Samurai. He is currently my oldest Betta. He was originally a koi. He is a marble, and he is the father to pretty much almost all of my Bettas. We've got Blaze right here, who is my half moon koi. Arnold does not want to cooperate and decided he did not want to come out. I'll have to try to see if I can get some footage of him. He's hiding and napping. Then we have Raspberry right here. And then right here we have Blueberry. So these boys are in a divided 20-gallon long. The dividers I got from Life with Pets on YouTube. Sheila makes the most amazing custom dividers. Oh, a snail just fell. Down here is my Apistogramma Cockatoides double red female group, as well as I have some Endlers, live bears here, a couple males and a couple females, and 1 bristlenose pleco. I have a pretty cool video of this tank, so you should definitely check it out. I will link it in the description. And currently, only the female Apistogramma are here, and I'll explain why in a little bit. So, moving over, we have my breeding spawning tanks for the Bettas. We have a younger, 3-month-old, very, very small spawn that's kind of growing out in here. We have the Apistogramma Cockatoides double red in this 10-gallon. The male and the female are hanging out right here. You can actually see them. Female is somewhere over here peeking, and then you can see a little bit of the male. I have some really cool videos on these guys that you should definitely check out. Those will be linked in the description down below as well. Over here is my very non-interesting tank, as I call it. It has 2 guppies, 1 Japanese bluegrass male, and a kind of hybrid female. Tons of babies. We've got some moss, but also a ton of algae kind of growing in here. And then somewhere hiding, probably in her little floaty log, I'm assuming. Maybe? I have no clue. She's hiding somewhere. Is the mother koi. She is the female that is the mom to this group right here. These are my smaller 4-month-old baby Bettas, as well as I've got some older guppies that are growing out here that are keeping them company. So this is their little grow out tank where I'm just keeping them until I will have to temporarily jar them before I sell these guys. Moving over, this is a newer tank I set up. This is a breeding tank for my Judeochromis virgani. They're from Lake Tanganyika. Gonna kind of scooch over here. So they are in a 20-gallon tall. They're kind of shy, but you can actually see them hanging out back there. There's 2. There's actually 5, and I gave them a lot of hidey spots, so they're kind of hiding right now. It is nighttime, so usually the lights would be off right now, so they're thoroughly confused as to why. Oh, there's actually a 3rd one peeking in the cave. If you can see its little face. They're very confused as to why the light is on. But this is my little temporary setup. I want to improve this and do a much better setup for these guys because I would like for them to spawn eventually when they get larger. So this is a tank in progress. Then over here, speaking of tanks in progress, oh my goodness, this tank is currently my worst tank. I am battling an algae problem, and the weird thing is I don't have algae problems in any of my other tanks, and even the one by the window doesn't have a problem, but this one for some reason does. So I kind of taped on the side. I put all of my water lettuce and some other floating plants up here. I put some other plants here, even though these are over here ocellatus. They're Lamprologus ocellatus gold, another type of shell dweller. And these guys don't really need plants or driftwood or anything like that, but I am putting in a ton of plants. I have a ton of pothos in the filter, and I've been also keeping the light off longer, so hopefully eventually, especially as the pothos begins to root, because there's a lot of new cuttings of pothos, I am hoping that we will get this algae problem under control and we will be able to continue to enjoy the life of the ocellatus, who, by the way, are the most aggressive and crazy fish I have ever had. And Bob, for those of you that have been following, he's somewhere. Oh, Bob is down there. That's Bob. He's hanging out over there. So they have this. There's only 5 of them, and there's another bristlenose pleco in here, and that's it. It's a very understocked tank. Yet we have crazy algae problems, but we'll get it sorted out. This is not my first time I've fought with algae, and eventually I always win. So I have high hopes in myself. Let's move up towards the largest tank that I have. This is a 55-gallon aquarium. Currently, there's not much going on inside. It's actually quite boring. I have some electric yellow Labradochromis carelius, I believe. I also have some albino bristlenose plecos, 1 red zebra, and then I have some electric yellow fry who are in this grow out container. It's a little dirty looking because we've got some algae growing up here because it is super close to the light, but that's okay. They actually prefer it that way because earlier when the container was clear, all the other fish were kind of stalking them a little bit, and it's made these guys really nervous. So ever since the algae started growing, they've been feeling much more secure. These little guys are 2 months old, so I am going to be selling them to my local cichlid club to get my breeder points for these guys. Trying to be a master breeder. That's the goal. That's the goal. So far, this is my 2nd species of cichlid that I've successfully bred and raised up. So, you know, making baby steps. I also have my only single male bristlenose pleco. There's another pleco in here, and there should be a 3rd one somewhere. But I have a couple plecos in here. I'm going to be adding more caves. Hopefully, maybe we'll be able to breed some plecos. Who knows? But I definitely want to fill this tank up a lot more. Before, the Judeochromis used to only be in here, and that is why I didn't want to put a lot of stuff in here because I wanted to breed the Judeochromis. Besides breeding the plecos, I don't really intend to breed anyone else in here, so this will become a show tank eventually. Then over here we have my wild Betta Mahachai, whom they really hate the light, to be honest. Mahachai don't like bright light, and the fact that it's nighttime and the light is on has made them even more mad at me, so they might not even come out. But I have a pretty cool video on these guys that I'll also put the link down in the description, maybe down in the comments so you can see them. I ended up planting their tank a little more thickly so they can kind of hang out here, and I'm saying they because I have a male and female. Oh, female's actually hiding. Let me see. Right there. She's being hiding because she wants to sleep. But either way, these Betta are a type of Betta that are a little more peaceful. They're still aggressive, but a lot less aggressive than Betta Splendens. So therefore, you can actually keep these guys together, male and female, and they should be a-okay as long as they're in a minimum of a 5-gallon. This is a 5-gallon. Ideally, you want to keep them in a 10-gallon. I am debating moving these guys to a 10-gallon, even though I really like this 5-gallon setup, but I could probably turn this into something else. Oh, there's Angry Male right here. So his colors are going to be super ugly right now because they change color based on their mood, and he's not in a good mood right now. He's mad that I turned on the lights, so as you can see, we are not on speaking terms. He just looked at me and left. They're super sassy and moody fish. And then down here, I finally upgraded my Lamprologus multifasciatus little colony. Now there's a little less of them because I did sell some of the babies to turn in my first breeder point. So I only have, unfortunately, one female and a couple juveniles, 2 juveniles and some males. They used to be in a 10-gallon, but I decided to give them this entire 20-gallon long so they can establish their colony. As you can see, they like to dig. Currently, they are working on Cichlid Mountain over here. So they will definitely redecorate. They are shell dwellers, so they do hide and kind of rear their young inside of these little shells. And that's where their babies hide. Of course, all my trumpet snails are out as well because it's nighttime, but these guys are super fun. They're some of the nicest and, in my opinion, easiest shell dwellers. So if you want to get into African cichlids, these guys, this is as big as they get. I definitely recommend these guys. They're my second dwarf shell dwelling cichlid that I have. The Ocellatus is the first species, and they're still growing out. Oh, they're staring at me. But these guys are murderous, super aggressive, and insane. These guys, on the other hand, are peaceful. Their babies will grow up together. Everyone is, look, they're just hanging out and they're having a nice time. So that concludes all of the fish that I currently have. So that is my magical fish room. So thanks for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and in the comments down below, let me know which is your favorite pet out of all my pets currently. And if you haven't, be sure to subscribe to this channel and tell your friends about it. If you have any friends that really like fish or any other pets, this is a channel for you. So spread the word so we can grow the creative can't words, as well as the potato squad. For those of you that might be new, we called, instead of early squad, we call it potato squad because I'm a potato. But on that note, I'll see you guys in Friday's video.